survival, or enslavement. Hello and welcome! If living in the woods has taught me one thing, is that you need to do whatever it takes in order to survive. And if you have some buddies, or hundreds of workers, to help you out, that's even better. In all seriousness though, I am happy to cover one of my favorite games from the early GameCube days. Pikmin has always had a special place in my heart when it comes to video game franchises. Besides Super Smash Bros. Melee, Pikmin was my first entry into the 6th console generation. The game had so much appeal to me back in the day. The style of this game was super charming and had the Nintendo love and quality put into it. I was sold on the TV commercial alone. The
Hang in there, little guys.
At the end always put a smile on my face whenever I saw it. Managing an army of cute plant creatures and trying to keep them alive was very interesting to me. I played a lot of real-time strategy games when I was younger, but Pikmin was a new experience entirely for me. Pikmin is also like one of the very few video games that my mom liked and had nostalgia for. When I was little, I used to draw Pikmin on any piece of paper I can get my paws on. Even the legend green Pikmin that was never canon. Sadly, I don't have these anymore though. As a huge Pikmin fan, I was also incredibly hyped when Olimar made his debut in Brawl, and he became my secondary. I still need to get better with him in Ultimate though, but I digress. But what exactly is Pikmin? Does this game from 2001 still hold up today? Do the sequels make it obsolete? Well, let's settle in, take off, and let's discuss it, shall we? A year before the GameCube's launch, Nintendo held a conference called Space World 2000, which featured a tech demo called Super Mario 128. This prototype showcased the GameCube's hardware capability to have 128 Marios on the screen animated at one time. Super Mario 128 was rumored to be a sequel to Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64 DD. However, since the 64 DD was a commercial failure, this was scrapped and was later rumored to be a GameCube title. This prototype was speculated by fans for many years. When asked in 2007, Shigeru Miyamoto confirmed that the demo shown later became the basis to Pikmin. Pikmin was also originally planned as a title called Adam and Eve, which would have focused on the growth and development between two people. Pikmin and Bulworms were added to make the game more interesting. However, this idea was scrapped due to a lack of plot. Pikmin was officially first shown off at E3 2001, featuring a Meet the Pikmin trailer going over some mechanics of the game. Pikmin was launched on December 2nd, 2001 in North America later that year. It was developed by Nintendo EAD, or Nintendo Entertainment Analysis and Development. This is otherwise known as Nintendo's main software division, who are responsible for their powerhouse IPs, such as Super Mario, Legend of Zelda, and Animal Crossing. Okay, so I'm gonna try my best to not botch these names, but Pikmin was directed by Shigefumi Hino, Masaichi Abe, and was written by Motoi Akamoto, and was produced by the main man behind Mario himself, Shigeru Miyamoto. Pikmin released to commercial success and sold over 1 million copies. The game was awarded with the Best Puzzle/Trivia/Powler Game of 2001, and was a runner-up for the Most Original Game Award. Interestingly, Ei no Uta, a single produced by a Japanese group called Strawberry Flower, was never in the actual game. However, it was used to promote in the Japanese commercials. This single remained in the Japanese top 10 for several weeks and even outsold the game itself. The translation of the song itself is actually pretty depressing, and it tells the story of how the Pikmin species feel of their loyalty and devotion to Captain Olimar, despite how many of them perished doing so. Pikmin later got a sequel with Pikmin 2 in 2004. This takes place immediately after the events of the first game. In 2008, Captain Olimar joined with the other Nintendo All-Stars in Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Pikmin, along with Mario Power Tennis, got a re-release on the Nintendo Wii on March 9, 2009, with their short-lived new play controls marketing. From what I hear, this is a much better way to play the game, however, I've never tried it personally. After 9 years of waiting, 2013 was the return with Pikmin 3, and 3 incredibly adorable Pikmin mini-movies in 2014, and a spin-off title called Hey Pikmin in 2017, which was... And finally, Pikmin 4 has been confirmed in development since 2014 and was last heard of 2017. And every time a Nintendo Direct shows up, I say to myself, maybe this time we will finally see it. Pikmin is an interesting genre of a title. It's a blend of real-time strategy, action, puzzle solving, and micromanagement simulation. You play the role of Captain Olimar, an employee of Hakatate Frights who crashed into a meteor and landed on a strange, distant planet. Due to his life support system failing, you only have 30 days left to live, and your main objective is to find the 30 missing parts to your ship, the SS Dolphin. Side note, I love that the GameCube's codename back in the day was called Project Dolphin, and how not only is it referenced in Olimar's ship, but how in Super Mario Sunshine, Al Delfino is also in the shape of the dolphin. Nintendo just knows how cute these little guys are. The game starts off at the level called the Impact Site, which Olimar finds his ship in ruins. The first day works as a tutorial, giving you unlimited time to figure out how the controls and mechanics work. Olimar then discovers an alien red ship that sprouts out a single seed. He dubs the ship as an onion, based on a vegetable that grows on his home planet. An onion. Olimar calls the creature a Pikmin, based on the visual similarities to Pikmin carrots, which is also another native vegetable on his homeworld. Pikmin can multiply by bringing either colored pellets or carcasses of enemies to their onions. They are then sprouted into the ground and plucked by Olimar. The game caps off at a maximum of 100 Pikmin. Any additional ones will remain safely within their onions. Pikmin can be thrown at enemies or objects, called towards you by whistling them, swarm around with a C-stick, or be dismissed and broken up into groups by color. In this game, Pikmin come in 3 colors: red, blue, and yellow. Red Pikmin are immune to fire. They also do 1.5 the amount of damage compared to their counterparts. Yellow Pikmin are considered very light and are able to be thrown at higher ledges than the red and blue. Yellow Pikmin are also capable of holding bomb rocks. These can be used to take down brick walls or do a significant amount of damage to an enemy. Just, use them carefully. Blue Pikmin are able to navigate water, and they can also rescue Pikmin that are drowning. Pikmin also come in 3 varieties: leaf, bud, and flower. Pikmin with flowers are more efficient and can keep up with Captain Olimar. You can make a flower Pikmin by having them drink nectar. Alternatively, if they remain in the ground long enough, they will turn into a bud and then into a flower. Even though Pikmin are cute, they are not immortal. Unless you are super careful when playing, you are almost certainly going to lose some Pikmin in battle. Pikmin can be eaten, stomped on, drowned, burned alive, or exploded. The biggest dread in this game is when you're out in the middle of doing something and you see the total number of Pikmin out in the field start to decrease as an unknown enemy is murdering them. Pikmin extinction can occur if you completely run out of Pikmin. However, you have to either be really irresponsible or And before you ask, yes, I did feel like a total monster getting all that footage. The day immediately ends, and you're given 1 sprout of each colored Pikmin the following day. Enemies come in a variety of species, sizes, and forms, the most common and staple being the Bulborb and the Dwarf Bulborbs. Almost each enemy you encounter can kill your Pikmin, or at the very least provide a hindrance to your progress. Killing other creatures will provide food to help increase your population. Bigger enemies will require more Pikmin to carry but will net you more Pikmin in return. Some enemies respawn after a specific number of days, and some additional enemies will show up after a certain number of days have passed. While not labeled as such, there are a few boss battles within the game. These enemies are usually pretty difficult to face, and you're more than likely to lose a few Pikmin to them. The game's final boss, the Emperor Bublax, challenges you with a test of endurance. But really, it's just a moral dilemma, because the easiest way to beat him is to let him consume your yellow Pikmin with bomb rocks while you bombard him with red Pikmin.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
Bosses contain a ship part within them, so they must be defeated in order to clear the game. The game's only optional boss is the Smoky Prog in the Distant Springs. This walking monstrosity will kill any Pikmin within its path, but it will net you 100 after you kill it. Bosses also do not respawn after they are defeated. Once you collect the whimsical radar, you can open up your map at any given time and you can see the locations of missing ship parts, as well as lost Pikmin. Checking your map will help players understand the area and strategize on how they should plan out each day. Each ship piece has its own carrying requirements and usually requires either puzzle-solving skills or enemies to defeat in order to obtain it. Once you have a certain number of parts, the game will allow you to visit a new location. Time is a huge factor in the Pikmin series. At sunset each day, Olimar takes off into the atmosphere to avoid nocturnal predators, and the Pikmin are not capable of surviving the planet's surface on their own. Each day lasts 13.5 minutes in real time. Oddly enough, the European version has 16 minutes. To make things stressful, any Pikmin left unattended once the timer hits 0 and are outside the radius of the safe zone are left behind and killed overnight. Nature truly is a scary thing. The thrill of trying to rescue a lost Pikmin at the last second will either be the most satisfying experience you'll have with this game, or the most devastating. Carcasses and pellets left behind on the field are also gone overnight. Besides enemies, Olimar has HP as well, and enemies will take you down if you're not careful. If Olimar runs out of HP, your day is immediately over. And to top things off, any Pikmin with you and are outside the safe area are considered left behind. You're able to repair your suit by going to the SS Dolphin at any time though. The game features 5 locations, with the Impact Site and the Final Trial being really small levels. You'll be spending most of your time in between the Forest of Hope, the Forest Navel, and the Distant Springs. Each level contains unique enemies only found in that location. However, after obtaining the minimum required parts in order to go to each location, you're completely free to explore and tackle these levels in any way you wish. The game is very open for you to go at your own pace. Want to spend the whole day gathering as much parts as possible? You can. Want to spend the whole day slaughtering tons of creatures minding their own business in order to harvest their flesh to build your army? You can. Want to spend the whole day napping? You can. The freedom to choose how you spend each day is completely up to you. As long as you have less ship parts to find than days remaining, you should be good. Pikmin itself isn't a long game. A first time and regular playthrough should take you about roughly 6 to 8 hours to complete. However, if you're very familiar with the title like I am, you're looking at roughly a little over 4 hours. While I wasn't trying to speedrun through my playthrough of this recording, I did manage to complete the game within 15 days. Skilled speedrunners are able to complete this whole game in as little as 6 days, and that completely blows my mind. Pikmin has 3 possible endings. There are only 25 essential ship parts required in order to get the game's neutral ending. In this ending, Olimar abandons his Pikmin and makes a break for home before it's too late. In the good ending, Olimar sees his Pikmin off, and due to Olimar's leadership, the Pikmin are able to fend for themselves, while different colored onions follow him into the atmosphere. And in the bad ending, where you don't complete the SS Dolphin, Olimar runs out of time and tries to escape the planet, only for the SS Dolphin to fail and crash back onto it. The Pikmin then take him to an onion and turn him into a Pikmin hybrid, and he was never seen again. And finally, completing a single day for each location will unlock Challenge Mode. In Challenge Mode, you are given a single day to produce as many Pikmin as possible. This is a fun distraction from the main game, especially if you have a friend or a sibling that you like to compete with. So there isn't much to add to what I've already said. Olimar crashes his ship into a meteor and needs to rebuild it before his life support system fails. And the canon ending is that he completely restores the SS Dolphin and returns home. But there's something that really makes Pikmin unique. Lore! Olimar is from a planet called Hakatate. For Hakatatans, oxygen is considered a poisonous gas to them. In the GameCube instruction booklet, it's revealed that Olimar is only 3/4 of an inch tall. At the end of each day, you get a journal entry from Olimar, and he explains his thoughts throughout the day. Sometimes this could be simply gameplay mechanics, or a new discovery of an enemy or Pikmin behavior, but some days you'll get a slice of life on Olimar's thoughts, feelings, and concerns. Olimar is a family man, with a wife and kids. In various journal logs, he talks about how desperately he wants to get back to them. I mean, well, if he wasn't immediately dragged back off at the beginning of Pikmin 2, but these logs can provide some really fun lore in the Pikmin universe. For example, in my recent playthrough, I found out that Hakatatans are born in space, live in Hakatate, and then they die and go back out into space. I don't know if they just fly out or if somebody just eats their dead bodies, but it happens. Or how Olimar talks about how tall the vegetation is and, quote, "Perhaps long ago, creatures of incomprehensible size walked the surface of this planet. Just imagine," hinting that the game takes place on a deserted Earth. There are a total of 71 possible log entries with this game, making each playthrough a little different each time. While I was doing research, I also found an unused log that was buried within the game's ROM. It just says, "I'm so very tired." Poor guy. Upon receiving the good ending, you are also rewarded with the enemy reel. This montage goes over a brief analysis and behaviors of all the enemy creatures and plants within the game. In Pikmin 2, this was expanded to the Piklopedia, and I absolutely adored this feature. The main story is simple and short, but finding more hidden details about the world Pikmin takes place in is fascinating, and the lore behind the franchise expanded even further in the sequels. I really love the foliage aesthetics to this game. Pikmin's atmosphere really puts you in scale on how big the world is around you, which in real life terms, each location would probably just be a few feet. The character and creature design are really unique and range from adorable to creepy to look at. In my opinion, Pikmin is a perfect blend of realism in nature, sci-fi, and Nintendo's cartoony quirks and charm. I love how expressive and real the animations to this game feel. For example, Bulborbs have no arms, so when they try to eat Pikmin, they dive their whole face into the ground. When left idle, Pikmin will start to slouch and relax and wait for their next command, or how they express curiosity when they're plucking grass. And while an inconvenience, sometimes they'll randomly trip when following you. This amount of detail wasn't needed for this game, but I love that it's here. There isn't really too many cutscenes within this game besides the intro, the outro, the start of the day, the end of the day, and every time you receive a ship piece. But I do like that when a Pikmin is left behind at night, the game will make you feel guilty for not rescuing them. And when you add exterior parts to the SS Dolphin, it slowly starts to look better throughout the game. And after you receive 29 of the 30 ship parts, the SS Dolphin looks complete. While it might not be as visually breathtaking as Pikmin 3, graphically, for an 18-year-old game, Pikmin still holds up incredibly well to this day. Considering that this was almost a launch title for the Purple Lunchbox, jumping from the blocky age of the Nintendo 64 to this is incredibly impressive for its time. I get so nostalgic for the music in Pikmin. The music for each level has its own mood tied with it. The Impact site fills the player with curiosity while it's also being playful. The Forest of Hope, my favorite track by the way, provides a peaceful piano and melancholy sense of, well, hope. The Forest Navel is a dark and chill vibe. The distant spring has an unsettling and dangerous ambient to it, and the final trial fills you with determination to retrieve the final piece. I also love that when you're close to an enemy, the music starts to get more intense, and how during nightfall, the melody starts to feel more calming as the day comes to an end. The other tracks, such as Challenge Mode and the level select screen, are also pretty catchy. They all provide a mix of wonder, cartoony sci-fi, and playfulness to it. All the tracks are composed by Hajime Wakai, who has done the music for each of the Pikmin games as well as a wide variety of Nintendo's other IPs. The sound effects in this game are pretty iconic. The Pikmin make very adorable sounds when they are plucked, thrown, carrying stuff, and it's super sad to hear them getting eaten or killed. The enemies, especially the Bulborbs and the Dwarf Bulborbs, are very iconic as well. UI sounds also have this bubbly and cartoonish feel to it, and it really gives the game a lot of character. Is Pikmin worth a play? Absolutely. While Pikmin 2 and 3 had a few additional mechanics, more gameplay, and smarter AI for the Pikmin, Pikmin 1 is still a solid title to this day and doesn't feel clunky and unplayable. Unlike the later titles, Pikmin 1 gives the player a sense of pressure and urgency to get things done. Pikmin doesn't take a very long time to complete, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. If you've never played a game in this series, I highly recommend starting here at the beginning. However, if you detest micromanaging and if you don't like to feel pressure to get tasks done within a short time frame, I couldn't recommend this game to you. I don't really have too many criticisms to say about Pikmin. I do have a few nitpicks though. Sometimes Pikmin will randomly start plucking grass if you walk by, and sometimes this will happen without you noticing, and then you have to spend the last few seconds of the day panicking trying to save them. The night cutscenes can also be a little tedious, and it's unskippable. Plucking Pikmin can be a little time consuming, and sometimes you'll be trying to grab a specific color Pikmin and grab the wrong one and can't swap it out. Most of these were fixed in Pikmin 2 as well as the Wii port of Pikmin. Overall, I had a fun time revisiting this game and talking about it. I do wish I could have also provided this review from a perspective of going into the game for the first time. I played through Pikmin countless of times throughout the past 18 years and know this game like the back of my paw. Finding a physical copy of Pikmin might be hard to come by these days. However, the Wii port of Pikmin is available on the Wii U eShop. Oh, rest in peace, Wii U. Thank you so much for watching. This has been a lot of fun to put together. If you enjoyed my video, consider leaving me a like and subscribe to see more content from me in the future. What are your thoughts on Pikmin? Did you play it back in the day? I'd love to hear any feedback you have about the game or my video. Till next time, everybody, stay safe, sleep tight, and don't let the Bulborbs bite.